Gentlelady yields. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Florida, Ms. Castor, for her 5 minutes of questioning.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is obvious that the Congress must act with urgency to enact guardrails to protect kids from the growing harms of online chatbots. So thank you for calling this hearing today. For example, the Wall Street Journal investigation earlier this year documented alarming instances of Meta's AI companion bots. They were engaged in sexually explicit conversations with accounts registered to minors. And even more disturbing, the investigation found that some bots continued these inappropriate interactions while acknowledging that the user was underage, with some bots even incorporating the minor's age into sexual scenarios and discussing ways to avoid parental detection. And I'm afraid that Congress's failure to update children's online privacy protection laws and whether you like COSA or not, the design features, I think that has emboldened the big tech companies to go farther. I'm going to offer this letter into the record. We haven't received a response from Mr. Zuckerberg and Meta yet to our letter. But I wonder if the one existing law, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, provides at least some of those guardrails that we can begin to work together on to establish a law, a regulation. So, Dr. King, the COPPA says that you cannot gather, share, or monetize children's data, and they set the age of 13, without verifiable parental consent. Is that an important guardrail for us to focus on when we're talking about chatbots?
It is, but I think that there is also concern about children over 13.
Right, and in fact, this committee has worked on a bipartisan bill to update COPPA to take it to age 16. Do you all have an opinion on an appropriate age for us to focus on when we're talking about chatbots? When is the brain developed in a teenager enough?
At least as a psychiatrist looking at brain development, we certainly know that 13 is too young, the brain is changing. You could argue that 16 may be too young, it's better than 13. It could be closer up to 17 or 18. I think the higher would be the better. I'll also say I realize it may be hard to get legislation out, but there may be things that Congress can support without making a definitive rule. There's not great sources of education in digital literacy for young people about what these chatbots are that's neutral, that's trusted and educated. There could be resources to put that out there.
And then how about under COPPA, parents can review the data that has been collected, they can have it deleted, and they can revoke consent for that data. Would you support that as kind of one of these guardrails? Dr. King?
I would, although I will say as the parent of a 12-year-old that I have found it rather difficult to be able to review such data myself.
Dr. Ray?
I also have concerns about whether or not once the data is already maybe used as training, how can you actually delete it in these models? Because I don't know that that's as possible as we think it is.
How about one of the guardrails in COPPA is that the companies are required to minimize, use the least amount of data, that they're not allowed to collect data that's not related to the discussion. Would that be an important guardrail? Dr. Ray?
Thank you for that question. Yes, I think minimization is very helpful.
Dr. King?
Absolutely. I mean, I think one of the biggest concerns, again, is that as you reveal more personal information through disclosure with chatbots, that data for older children especially could be commercialized later down the line and, remain with them as they grow older and older.
And I think, Dr. King, you had, in the previous question, you had answered that, yes, we need privacy policies that are clear and comprehensive related to AI. Is there a way to craft those privacy policies to protect kids online and from these chatbots or the malign impact?
I mean, again, consumers don't read them, but Interestingly, you could try to use AI, for example, to help educate people on privacy policies. I will say, just anecdotally, as part of the study I worked on, we didn't delve into this for publication, but I was trying to test whether you could actually ask the different chatbots about their platform's privacy policies. In most cases, they refused to answer. So,
And then I think you've all said that NIH, we need to fund NIH research to track the harms to young people from chatbots. Do you all agree with that as something fundamental as part of Congress's role here?
I'll say yes, and I'll just add, we've done for the last 5 years an experiment where we've built a website, mindapps.org, that indexes mental health apps, and we read the privacy policies for people. And you can go to it today. It's free, supported by the Argosy Foundation. But we read the privacy policy, we update it, and we show people what does the app claim to do with your data. It's much harder for AI. But that's been a wonderful thing because young people can go and say, where's my data going? And again, not all young people make the right decision, but there's no reason not to have a website that indexes what the company claims to do. I'm not saying they'll do it, I'm not saying they're gonna follow it, but we don't need legislation to have a common resource where we put up and says, what does the company claim to do it? We know privacy policies are written at a college-age level. Most Americans can't read them, but we can read them for it, and they don't update that often. So I think we can do it by hand today and help every American.
Thank you very much. I yield back.
General